Minecraft is a perfect game, but that doesn't mean it can't be more perfect. I would say there's a few subtle changes that we can make to Minecraft to make it absolutely the most perfect Minecraft can possibly be. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing completely game-changing, it's just some tiny, slight improvements that fit in with the Minecraft vibe that make it a little bit better. Number one, Optifine. Not only does it give me the ability to do this cool zoom, it also brightens up the game a little bit using the internal shaders, and it turns off rain. Immersive portals. You've seen me fiddling around with this quite a bit over the past couple weeks. It will never get boring to me. I mean, I just have a little window in between each world and I can see what's going on. I can see things moving. Look, there's a skeleton and he's chilling out in the nether. And I'm looking at him. And arguably most importantly, the carpet mod. Now there are a handful of new game rules that we can activate with the carpet mod. The first game rule is movable tile entity, so that's definitely going to be switched on. It's the one piece of Bedrock Edition redstone that I'm incredibly jealous of. Next up, I've increased the piston push limit to 24 blocks, which just makes building slime block based and honey block based redstone contraptions considerably easier. I've also activated Chainstone, which makes chains actually work properly so they stick to one another, and any block or slime block structure that is attached to the end of it, but they won't stick to any blocks that are next to it. So that makes it significantly different from something like slime blocks or honey blocks. And then finally, I've added the rotator block just because this seems interesting. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it seems interesting. So that right there is my perfect Minecraft configuration. Now it's time to actually play with it and see if it's as perfect as I think it is. And I've just come up with an idea, and it involves the rotator block. I want to create an automatic turret that pops out of the ground, immediately starts shooting in 270 degrees. Now I think I have a rough system worked out on how to do this. So this is the redstone clock that is going to travel up. As you can see, our dispenser is now rotating, so this will fire in all angles, and also it is being powered so it can also shoot things out. Now at the minute it's not particularly deadly, you just get hit in the face by a slime block item, but eventually we might fill it with something a tiny bit more powerful, such as snowballs. Things are currently going okay. I've got the pop-up with the rotation and also the firing of things, so that all seems to be working well. The thing that I'm sort of struggling with is then the pulling down. You see, I can get it back down into the floor, but it's getting the redstone clock back intact. I might have to do things in a slightly smarter fashion here. This definitely isn't smarter. It's far stupider. It's definitely not going to work, but I thought I'd try it anyway. Yeah, it's broken. At least I knew it was going to break. If anything, we got the desired outcome there. Imagine if it had worked. Then I would have looked even stupider. Oh, I've just had a brainwave, and it's painfully simple. We can deactivate the clock just by making sure that both dispensers are already powered. So this redstone clock is powering the dispensers, but they're already powered, so nothing is changing. And then we fire the double piston extender, it pops up above the ground, it does its thing, and then when we retract it back below the ground, everything shuts off. That is about as simple as it gets, but I wanted to make it even simpler. Now it just consists of one line of redstone dust and one redstone repeater, and if I flick this lever you can see it pops up and immediately just starts setting fire to everything. Like, nothing is safe. If you're in front, to the left, or to the right of this thing, then you're going to get destroyed. But if I flick this lever again, you can see it all drops down into the floor. Very, very fancy. Right, let's move on to a magical piston door. I think making use of a combination of the immersive portals mod and also carpet mod means I should be able to create a rather interesting looking piston door that should open immediately. So how big is this thing? It is 5 blocks wide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks high. There are absolutely no pistons anywhere. There's not going to be any redstone above the ground. And as I say, it is going to open pretty much immediately. Now, how do I intend on doing that? Well, if I just light up a portal, that will take us through into the nether. I can then build up a wall back here that is essentially going to be our door. So this right here is going to be our door, and as soon as I break this nether portal, this door, this right here, is just immediately going to disappear. If I just build one up on the other side, there is now no way to get through this gateway. And also, it's a little bit confusing for the brain, because the iron blocks seem to switch sides depending on what side you look at it. Now, the reason I want to have the carpet mod involved is because I want to make sure that the dispenser that pops up to destroy the nether portal actually pops up. It doesn't stay in the way of the door frame, so we pop up the dispenser, it breaks the nether portal, then retracts back down into the floor. So let's see, how well does this work? At the minute, we've got our door in place, and we also have a little chicken, and if I hit this button, not only does the door disappear, the chicken also disappeared. That isn't really what I was expecting, but I personally think that's quite a nice addition to the piston door. Right, now let's give this a test with all of the different features in place. So if I hit this button, you can see our door immediately opens up. We have got a fully opened archway, and then if I hit this button again, you can see that everything is back in place. And look, this is not some kind of mysterious... Wait, what? Did you see? What? No! Oh, you've got to be joking me. So you mean to tell me that I can actually kind of walk through my door sometimes? I'm still not entirely sure how that happened. That's so annoying. It also seems to be a one-off. It's as if the game heard me say, like, I was making the point that this door does actually work, is not an optical illusion. That was the point that I was making. I was making a point that the door was solid. You couldn't just walk through it. And then what do I go and do? I walk through it. I walk through this solid door that is now solid. I can't go... What? This game hates me. What do? All I've done is I've tried to improve the game in the way that I see fit, and what does the game do back to me? It embarrasses me in front of all my friends. I was really excited to show you that this door could even be made out of bedrock and it would still function as a piston door, which actually, it does hurt my brain a little bit, but now that I know you can just walk straight through the door, willy-nilly, occasionally. Not right now, but sometimes. Apparently only when you're trying to describe that you can't walk through the door can you actually walk through the door. All other times, you can't get through it. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Still, this door is pretty cool. Let's move on. And I think I've come up with a small but interesting idea. I have absolutely no idea if this is going to work as it does in my head, but inside this dispenser right here, I've got myself a bunch of arrows. I've got this dispenser set up to be a rotator block. I'm now going to place an observer right here, which will turn this into a redstone clock. So this is now firing out arrows automatically, and if I give this observer up here an update, we should now have a multiple direction firing. I mean, it's not something to be particularly concerned about, I don't think. You know, if I saw this flying towards me, I wouldn't think, oh my goodness, my life is over, I'm in severe danger. This... It's probably the worst weapon I've ever created ever. But there's something quite entertaining about it. Oh look, there's arrows falling out the back as well. It's getting more dangerous, but not by much. I think I'm going to let that one just travel off into the distance to be forgotten about, to be honest with you. But it has given me a bit of an interesting idea. I've obviously built a decent number of slime block and honey block flying and walking machines, but I've never built a chain-based flying or walking machine. Now, I guess what's kind of weird about these things is that you kind of have to have the slime blocks and the honey blocks, but you can actually run these things next to one another. And, I mean, it should work. Yeah, that works. And it looks kind of cool. I mean, my normal Minecraft brain, where I'm used to seeing slime blocks and honey blocks between these two things, means that this actually looks a bit strange to me. It looks like they're not connected up. It doesn't look like it should work, but it does. Okay, let's take things up just a notch and see if we can build some form of walking robot. So this, in theory, should be the first part of the leg. And yeah, that seems to be working. So now we just need to drag this piston back across. And honestly, I'm not sure at this point if this is actually going to work, but it should. And it does. It looks really, really weird. It looks like it shouldn't work. So my goal for this little walking robot is to make it feel as small as possible, because these chains really reduce the feel of the footprint. They don't actually make it smaller, but they make it look smaller, so I'm going to try and work off that. With that being said, I have actually been able to use the chain mechanics to make the build smaller. So this leg is now... yeah, it's considerably smaller. Like, considerably smaller. We don't have that big loop out the back, because I used to have to do that to avoid sticking to this redstone block. But now the chains... they don't stick to that redstone block. I've said it a million times, but this should definitely be a feature. In fact, all of the features in this video, bar maybe the immersive portals, should definitely be features in the game. This guy's got the longest legs in the world, and then the shortest torso, but I'm liking it. Let's just build him a little running track right here. You know what? He deserves better than grass. So what do you reckon? Is this guy going to work first try? If he does, I am going to be ridiculously impressed. I mean, it does actually work, which is amazing. He's a little jump bot. All right, we might have to adjust the timings a little bit. Although I could kind of watch it all day. Oh, that is so silly. All right, give me a second. Timings have been adjusted. I don't know if this is going to improve or ruin this little guy. But now... oh, there he is. He is off. I mean, he looks like he... I think I prefer this, because he looks like he's walking with such purpose. His head is so far forward. Oh my goodness. This was like me on the way home from school. Like, school would finish and I needed to get home to play games. This is how I would walk. It's like just on the edge of a run, but it's not a run because then you start to look weird. But you walk as fast as possible while leaning as far forward as possible so it feels faster. Goodness me, he's travelling at some pace though. My track's a little bit too short. He's crashing into the wall. And now his legs have come off. So I think it's safe to say that my perfect version of Minecraft is perfect. It creates... Oh, it's crashed. Oh no! What is with the game today? Honestly. So firstly, while trying to demonstrate that this wall can't be walked through, I somehow end up walking through the wall. It hasn't happened since and it didn't happen before, but it happened then. And then when I say that my perfect version of Minecraft is perfect, it crashes. And crashing is like the distinct, most unperfect thing that Minecraft can do. I give up. I give up. My day is ruined. My disappointment is immeasurable. With that being said, this has been really quite fun. I plan on playing with this version of Minecraft quite a bit over the next couple of weeks. I really want to try and build my perfect Minecraft base in the perfect version of Minecraft. I think that will be really quite interesting. But if there's any other video suggestions, please let me know down in the comment section, as, yeah, my brain ain't working.